Russia and Niger's relationship has improved recently in several sectors, including cooperation. The possible influence this relationship may have on both regional dynamics and global geopolitics is the reason it has come to light. Russia and Niger have been cooperating in many areas, such as energy, infrastructure development, and defense. Increased joint exercises, military equipment exchanges, and military training efforts are the results of the two countries' defense cooperation. The objectives of this cooperation are to address regional security issues and strengthen Niger's security capabilities. The growing relationship between Russia and Niger has raised questions about the motives and implications of this cooperation. Some commentators argue that Russia's engagement in Niger is part of a larger strategy to increase its influence in Africa and counterbalance the influence of Western countries. Others draw attention to the strategic and financial objectives that drive this collaboration, such as access to new markets and natural resources. So, in today's video, we will be talking more about the Niger-Russia collaboration. We will also see how Russia is said to seek French-held uranium assets in Niger. But before we continue, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the New Tourist channel so you get updates on whatever is going on in Niger. Russia sent new military advisors and equipment to Niger early last 2 months, a country which wants the U.S. troops to leave. It has now sent 3 cargo planes of military material and instructors in the past month. The instructors' arrival was verified by the Africa Corps, which is thought to be the African equivalent of the Wagner paramilitary force. The confirmation was posted on the group's Telegram account. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin revealed that Russian forces have now been stationed at an air facility in Niger near the airport in Niamey, which also houses U.S. forces. Niger's military regime, which took power in a July 2023 coup, expelled French troops based in the country and then denounced a military cooperation agreement with the U.S. Bear in mind that in April, the first group of roughly 100 Russian advisors arrived in Niger. Russian military action brings American and Russian forces closer together at a time when their military and political competition over the situation in Ukraine is growing more intense. It also calls into question what would happen to American installations in the nation in the event of a pullout. Remember that the U.S. and its allies were obliged to remove their troops from many African countries after coups that attracted rebels eager to overthrow Western rulers. Along with the anticipated withdrawal of American forces from Niger, the French military was driven out of Mali and Burkina Faso. Meanwhile, U.S. troops recently left Chad. At the same time, Russia is attempting to reinforce its ties with African countries by portraying itself as a friendlier nation with no colonial past in the region. For instance, Mali has emerged as one of Russia's closest African friends in recent years, thanks to the deployment of the Wagner Group mercenary force there to combat jihadist insurgents. Russia has said that ties with the United States are below zero due to American financial and military support for Ukraine's defense against Russian forces on the invaders' territory. After a coup in July 2023, the Nigerian military government rejected an agreement for military cooperation with the U.S. and expelled French personnel stationed there. It claimed that this had been unilaterally imposed by Washington. Washington agreed to withdraw its roughly 1,000 soldiers from the nation in April. Remember that an additional 2-star U.S. general had been dispatched to Niger in an attempt to facilitate a responsible and professional departure. While no decisions have been taken on the future of U.S. troops in Niger, the plan was for the troops to return to U.S. Africa Command's home bases, located in Germany. Also, note that the U.S. is still engaged with Niger and Chad, despite withdrawing troops from the countries. Dozens of U.S. soldiers departed Chad in April after the military authorities there voiced worries about their presence in advance of the elections that were scheduled for May 6. The Sahel region is considered the new global epicenter of the Islamic State group. In order to help track Islamist activity in the region, the U.S. established a drone station in Agadez, central Niger, in 2016. Agadez is located 750 kilometers northeast of Niamey, the nation's capital. However, military spokesman Colonel Abdurrahman claimed in March that the U.S. was objecting to Niger's choice of friends after Niger ordered U.S. personnel to leave. Colonel Abdurrahman also blasted the U.S. for their condescending attitude and threat of reprisals, saying that the U.S. ultimate goal was to maintain diplomatic relations with countries dominated by the military. This growing relationship between Niger and Russia speaks volumes about the changing dynamics in global alliances. Bear in mind that in March, Russian President Vladimir Putin and General Abdurrahman Tichini picked up the phone and began discussing strengthening security cooperation. Russia and Niger have decided to enhance their military relations in a number of ways. One is the possibility of arms transactions, in which Russia provides Niger with military hardware and weaponry to strengthen its armed forces. Also note that a high-level Russian delegation visited Niger in December, led by Colonel General Yunus Bekyefurev, the Russian Deputy Defense Minister. This visit carried significant weight and marked a crucial milestone in the deepening ties between the two nations. The presence of such a senior Russian official signaled Moscow's keen interest in strengthening its influence in Niger and the broader Sahel region. During the visit, the main topic of discussion was how to improve defense sector collaboration. An agreement to strengthen cooperation in the field of defense between Nigerian and Russian officials was signed. However, the exact contents of this protocol are still unknown and covered in secrecy. The U.S. presence and influence in Niger is most likely challenged by the entrance of Russian weapons and trainers, which are perceived as a strategic win for Russia. American authorities worry that Russian combatants and paramilitary organizations, such as the Wagner Force, would take part in political operations to obstruct U.S. efforts in Niger and push for the evacuation of U.S. troops. Ibrahim Traoré has expressed gratitude for Russia's support, saying that Putin refuses nothing when it comes to supplying arms to combat terrorism. Niger's choice to turn to Russia for support could have been influenced by things like the fact that weapons are available without the same restrictions on international law and human rights that the U.S. imposes. Western countries are becoming concerned about Russia's increasing sway in the Sahel region due to these events. Putin's decision to arm and equip Niger has repercussions for both the U.S. and Niger. It offers Niger extra help in dealing with security issues, especially those pertaining to terrorism. It also prompts questions regarding the potential impact on U.S. counterterrorism strategy in the region, as well as the influence of foreign countries. The circumstance draws attention to how Africa's geopolitical landscape is changing and how major world countries are vying for influence. There are important ramifications for both Niger and the U.S. from Putin's recent decision to arm the country more. These arms import raises worries for Niger about the possible intensification of internal unrest and regional tensions. Although Niger has experienced security issues in the past, the introduction of more weapons could heighten tensions and spark violent clashes. Niger's growing militarization could obstruct attempts at national development and peaceful resolution. Its advancement and socioeconomic development may be hampered by the redirection of resources from vital areas like infrastructure, healthcare, and education to military projects. As all this is going on, it has come to our notice that Russia is attempting to seize uranium assets in Niger that are owned by a French business under state control, posing a threat to Western interests in the region. Rosatom, Russia's state nuclear company, has had contacts with Niger's military-led authorities about acquiring assets held by France's Orano SA. An anonymous Western diplomat based in the region said talks were likely centered around mining permits. Bear in mind that Niger accounted for about 4% of global uranium mine production in 2022, according to the World Nuclear Association. Rosatom believes it can capture a significant slice of this market. Speaking in Russia's parliament, the group's Director General Alexei Likashev said he considered Africa a point of growth for nuclear technology. Also note that Rosatom announced last week it had signed nuclear energy cooperation agreements with Mali, Burkina Faso, and Algeria during the two-day Atom Expo Energy Conference held in the Russian city of Sochi. Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso were all warmly welcomed as first-time attendees of the 13th Atom Expo, a major industry event since 2009. We can see how strongly Russia is coming into Africa. Niger's decision to receive new Russian advisors and equipment from Russia signals a dramatic change in its foreign policy and strategic alliances. This development emphasizes not only Russia's increasing sway over the African continent, but also Niger's aim to fortify its defenses and diversify its sources of support. It is important to recognize Niger's sovereign right to select its allies, as well as the possible advantages that this cooperation may offer in terms of boosting security, encouraging economic development, and promoting regional stability, even though the decision may cause certain Western countries to express concerns. The implementation of these new collaborations will be contingent upon efficient coordination, transparency, and mutual respect amongst all stakeholders as Niger continues to navigate its complicated geopolitical landscape. Only time will tell how this decision will shape Niger's future trajectory and its relationship with the international community. Whatever the case, do you think Niger will regret receiving all this support from Russia in the future? Would they have been better off with the US? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the New Tourist channel. Turn on notifications too so you get notified whenever we upload videos like this. Thanks for watching and see you in our next video.